A community is only as strong as the thread that holds it together. And throughout their 50 years, one thread has remained constant: an unconditional commitment to providing the right care in the right way at the right time. Among the many services Wesley Spectrum offers is support for children and families living with autism disorders.
Cassie was born at 25 weeks. She weighed 1 pound 14 ounces when she was born and spent 114 days in the NICU. We were told that she had retinopathy of prematurity, so we were told that she would never see. When she was 4, her speech therapist at School for the Blind said, "I think you need to take her to be evaluated for autism." One doctor sat us in a room with a window and they stared at us for a couple of hours and then came in and said, "Yeah, she's autistic," and kind of sent us on our way.
The process started all over. Why us? Why our family? Why Cassie? Why my baby?
For me, when we were given the autism diagnosis, my world completely fell apart. And I thought, I didn't sign up for this. And I think that that's initially probably every parent's initial thought when they get that diagnosis. When you become a parent, you want the most amazing life for your kids. You don't find people who want to work with a visually impaired autistic kid because they don't know how. Cassie started at our public school in 1st grade, and they have a summer program. They had brought Katie in from Wesley Spectrum to do music class with the kids. Cassie's vision therapist called me and said, "Oh my gosh, you have got to sign Cassie up for music class with Miss Katie. She was amazing with her," and Cassie completely loved her, and she loved the music classes.
Cassie learns to express herself through music. Wednesday, 4:30 in the afternoon is the favorite part of my week, taking Cassie to music and just watching those two interact. It's amazing.
One of the biggest differences I see in Cassie is her ability to communicate.
I know I waited 7.5 years to get a kiss from Cassie, and at 9.5 years, she was able to reciprocate and tell me that she loves me. And that's as heartwarming as it gets, you know, little things like that.
Wesley did a pilot program that was a parent support group. So it was a really good thing for me to sit and listen to other moms talk about all of the same things.
I think the whole process of just networking with other special needs parents, it's a brotherhood or a sisterhood beyond anything I've ever been connected with. And so with the challenge comes that blessing. And Cassie and I have connected on more of an outdoors level. I've discovered, you know, I could take her down to the trail and we could go for a run. I was always pondering what it's like for her. Each day, what's it like for her? And I was working out on the Montour Trail one day. I decided I'm gonna try running 5 steps with my eyes shut. And I tried 10, 15 to 20, and I think I got to 25. It was then, I was like, wow, we could really raise some awareness and knock this out of the park. And it wasn't till last winter where there was an Autism Frostbite 5K at North Park. We had 70 plus people register for this 5K under Team Cassie. And it was that point where we decided, hey, let's start our own foundation. It was just great. We had a good time, and it's jackpot for me just to spend time with her and raise awareness. It's as good as it gets.
Wesley Spectrum also provides support for children and families facing behavioral or mental health challenges.
Well, our son Brian started having issues when he was a toddler. We began having more issues at school and oppositional behavior. As Brian approached his teenager years, it became very difficult with his behaviors. He was diagnosed with ADHD, with oppositional defiance, and we saw a lot of that in his dealings with the school. It was very difficult on us as a family, and of course, we looked at ourselves and wondered, what were we doing wrong as parents? And especially with the involvement of drugs and alcohol, that added a whole different level.
We needed something to help us, and when we got involved in the Parents Survival Skills Training Group, and that's a program that Wesley Spectrum had been linked up with.
What we found here was a group of very like-minded parents, same kind of situations, same feelings of fear for their children, for their families, what was to become of their loved ones.
And the Wesley counselors that were there were just spot on as far as being able to help us with ideas and how to interact with our son and set boundaries.
Brian's worked with Wesley therapists for about 4 years. And I think he always felt that there was somebody there that he could call when he needed help.
I think he developed a bond with the counselors that he did not have with Janice and I, with his parents. He wasn't interested in much. So through the counselors, they facilitated reforming family bonds.
As a family, that's the most important thing that we've gotten out of all of this, is that we've built a relationship. We had one when he was very young, but it really fell apart. We certainly needed help with it, and so did Brian.
And Wesley did a lot of the rebuilding and the mending of fences for us, helping us with that.
And we're so excited with where Brian is now in his life. He's living independently in Washington, Pennsylvania, and he's living in a community of people who are very committed to remaining sober. He enjoys speaking. He loves public speaking. And it's been exciting to us to see that he wants to tell that story. And our relationship with him has never been better than it is today. So it was a long process, but we feel good about where we are today.
Many years ago, a local women's guild pieced together a quilt to raise money for the Wesley Institute. They knew that, like a quilt, a stable community is only as strong as the individual pieces that hold it together. Each year, Wesley Spectrum is proud to serve over 5,500 individuals through education, behavioral health, autism, and family support services. Together, we look forward to growth and achievement for years to come.